everyone, my name is Jasmine and welcome to Propped Up Yoga, where we learn about yoga props and flow with them. Today we're learning about blocks. Blocks are these nice little props that help you make a pose more accessible to you. So it helps bring the floor, the ground, the mat up to you. There are a couple types of blocks. These are foam blocks here. This is a cork block. I always wanted a cork block. I don't really use it because it's hard. And the foam is just a little more forgiving on the joints. A note about foam. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it has all these little nicks in it from a cat. My cat. So if you have small animals or animals in general that don't know not to eat stuff, please keep these props, these foam props, away from those animals or even small children, any being in your house that does not know to stay away from these, that it's not food or a toy. Put these out of reach so that you can save yourself a trip to the emergency room or the emergency vet. And that's that. Alright, blocks have 3 different levels. So you have tall, you have medium, and you have short. You can use whatever level you want to make a pose accessible to you. There is no rule that you have to use it like this for one pose or like this for another pose. There's no rule. As you can see, these are a little less thick. These two are a little less thick than these two. Which means that even though it's not that big of a difference, it can make a big difference in the pose, in your body. So this might be where you need to be for whatever pose, and then these might be where you need, this level may be where you need to be for a different pose. So just listen to your body when you're practicing and when you're practicing with blocks, whenever you practice. So now let's talk about substitutions for blocks. If you don't have a block, you can pretty much find a block at any store. I think I've seen them in the grocery store during New Year's time, because everyone's trying to get in shape and do their New Year's resolutions. However, if you just decide to practice right now and you don't have a block, grab a nice thick book. Unlike blocks, books have one level and one level only. Please do not injure yourself trying to do 3 levels on something that needs to be flat on the ground. So you don't want to use a book like this or like this. If you want, go ahead and stack the books, but do not use them on any other level except flat on the ground. The other thing to note about books is the paperback will slide. This is a hardback. Paperback will slide, so please be careful if you even choose to use a paperback. I just personally would avoid it. The other thing is paperback or hardback, if you put too much pressure on it, it will still move because it's not built to be a block, a yoga prop. So that will compromise the integrity. Eventually, it will compromise the integrity of the binding. So keep that in mind as well. And if you have a nice blanket, you can use your blanket as your prop. Now blankets, depending on how you fold them, can have more than one level. Again, don't use it this way. I mean, see, it'll fall. Even if you can get it to stand up, you're still going to go down. Same thing here. But blankets, this is a level. This is another level. This is another level. So blankets are great to use as props or substitutions for blocks. But also keep in mind that a blanket may slide around. So please, again, do not injure yourself. Last but not least, you can always use a pillow. And you can stack pillows. Pillow is just like the blanket. It will probably slide depending on the type of material that it's made out of. But it will still make a decent substitute for a block. So, making the pose more accessible to you. Maybe you're in a wide-legged forward fold, seated wide-legged forward fold. and you want to go here, but it's a little strenuous to put your hands on the ground. Grab a block or two. You can do one or two, whichever one. Or maybe you can go here, but it's a little strenuous to put your head all the way to the ground. Again, blocks have 3 different levels. And perhaps this is still a little bit of a strain or whatever. Then you can stack it. Make sure it's on a level surface. So like between my mat and the floor, there's a little difference. So you don't want it here because then it'll rock. Make sure you're on a flat level surface and boom, stack it like a T. Or you can do this. Whatever makes you comfortable. The other thing is that you can advance poses as well. So let's say we're doing this seated forward fold, and I can easily touch my toes or my feet. But I can go past that. Well, grab a block or two, and boom, there you go. You can go past it. Blocks are great for modifying poses as well. So let's say you want to do a modified fish pose. So you set your fish pose up. It's like a T. You might have to move the block around a little bit. That's okay. You can be here, modified fish pose. Or if you want to drop your head down more, you can be here. Still modified fish pose. If you wanted to and you needed to go down even lower, you could take one of these smaller ones, skinnier ones. If the wider one is too much on your back, then you can do a skinny one for your back. Whatever feels good. I could just lay here forever, but I won't. If you are in a forward fold, Uttanasana, standing forward fold, say you can't touch the ground, grab a block. Whichever level you need it on. You can grab 2 blocks if you need to. Whatever feels good, whatever makes you comfortable. I hope this helps. Can't wait to see you in the next video. See you later.